It's a Rossoneri day, even with records in the way. With Milan beats the 360, defensive dynamo. We keep the spirit, let that Rossoneri glow. And I know it's a Rossoneri day, we lift our voices and make them sway. With every goal and every cheer through every season, we're still here, we're still here. And I know it's a Rossoneri day. Ooh, 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 ooh.
Morning, Milanisti. Good afternoon, good evening. What's going on, Milan Nation? That was our new intro track, Rossoneri Day. That's kind of a 70s disco vibe track, like Bill Withers. If you guys go way back like I do on that music. All right. That being said, welcome to the show. This is pregame with our Milan versus Napoli. All right, looks like we got a couple of people in the chat. First things off, apologies for being late. Obviously, overslept a little bit, normal, but here we are. So I got about 45 minutes or so before I start my day with my job. So being that I work remote. So let's get with it. All right. Everybody that's in the chat, thanks for time locking in today. Let's see who's in the chat real quick. Say what's up. Nobody yet. All right. I think Fadinho's in here. He was here before. So Fadinho, if you're in there, welcome. Thanks for locking in, Fadinho. And Carmelo as well, if you're in there. The usual. But it might be some new people. All right. That being said, let's get with it. So Milan Napoli preview. So obviously we are last game versus Bologna got canceled due to some, whatever you want to believe, political stuff. It was politically motivated, like some people are stating, which is there's no actual evidence, just speculation, or being that the weather really impacted the stadium. Either way, regardless, the game was canceled. Our Theo and Tijani are suspended for today's game, which is pretty big news. All right. And in terms of the game itself today, so we obviously got some rest. I think Napoli's missing Lobatka. He's not out. He's out still with some kind of hamstring injury. He won't be in there. Gabi is out as well today with the muscle issue on his lower extremities, so which is a loss for us. Just as much as Lobatka is a big loss for Napoli, especially in that midfield, right? He runs that midfield with Giza. They're a really good partnership. All right, especially in that 3-man midfield. So that being said, Milan Nation, let's get into the game. So today the game kicks off at 3:45 local time over there in Milan. Our predicted lineup is a 4-2-3-1. According to the latest FOTMob report here, I just refreshed it. It looks like we're going with Mike behind the pipes, Terracciano, Tomori, Chow, Royale, Fofana, playing his usual position, Loftus-Cheeks, Chuck, Pulisic, Leao. So Leao is playing. There were reports that Okafor was going to play instead of him. So it's just to say Leao is going to play because he hasn't done anything wrong. He had it pretty, I don't think he should be benched. And Morata. For Napoli, they're playing with Meret behind the pipes. Post Di Lorenzo, who's been playing actually decent recently for Napoli. Rahami, Buongiorno, Oliveira. And in the midfield, McTominay, Gilmore, who's taken the place of Lobatka, Giza, Politano, Lukaku, Kvaratskhelia. That's the lineup for both teams. Now let's get into some stats. So stat wise. So let's go to, we got FB ref right here, right? So obviously Napoli's in first place with 22 points, goal difference of 11. We're sitting at currently in 8th with 14, a goal difference of 7. All right, I know some people are saying Napoli hasn't played the best competition recently, but they played who was in front of them and they won games. And, you know, every game changes, right? It's because they narrowly beat some, you know, less competitive teams in Serie A. You know, things change when they play, you know, different games. They can be the game they could be playing against today against Milan could be totally different. They're a very dangerous team, Napoli, especially defensively. We'll get into some tactics in a minute, how the way their formation set up defensively compared to us. But let's get into some more stats. Don't want this squad shooting. So some interesting stats here. Let's look at where is Napoli on this page. Oh, okay. That's interesting. Oh, Napoli here. So they got 10 goals. Oh, not 10 goals, 16 goals. Shots 131. Shots on target 37. Shots on target percentage 28. So we're at 31.8. We're a little bit more clinical with our shots. We've shot 118 and we've gotten 45 on target. So, which is, you know, so we have the edge there. But like I said, every game is different. And obviously, they got some dangerous play with Lukaku, Kvaratskhelia, obviously, being the two main targets for them. Let's get into defensive stuff here real quick. This is what the show's about. So, all right, here we go. So the Napoli tackles, total tackles 134, tackles 183, the defensive third 54, mid third 60, attacking third 20. Challenges 67, 65, 117 attempts. So they got 55% of their tackle challenges they've won. Milan, we've won 42% of our challenges, right? Which is a telling sign, especially when you're talking about comparing two midfields, you know, and your defensive backs. Who's going to win those challenges? So on paper, Napoli has the edge there, which is not, you know, something. It's not a really big surprise, actually, guys. Being that Napoli, they've had what? Let's take a look. Quick something here, because I have some fun stats here as well. Where is it when you're looking for it? Oh yeah, this is not it. Hold on, guys. Where is that stat? Okay, so Napoli have kept a clean sheet in their 4 of the last 5 games Serie A, with an aggregate score of 10-1. Since the beginning of September, Napoli has conceded only 1 goal in Serie A. That's against level with Juve, and in the big 5 European leagues, only Lipsia have done better. So they're pretty. This is from Opta Palo. So they've had a clean sheets in the last 5 games. And this is one of the stats why they're really good at winning their tackles. So they're getting the ball back, recovering the ball. And let's take a look at squad position, interceptions. Where are the recoveries? Let's see if we can find recoveries here. Recoveries. Ball recoveries, which is another big stat defensively too. When you're counter pressing or in mid block, right, or on the low block, depending on what you're playing. We have 263 recoveries, Napoli 359. That's huge right there. Aerial duels are pretty good where we've won 53%, they won 53, so it's a pretty, that's just even right there. But Napoli's won a lot more balls, which is huge when you're transitioning, right, from your defensive phase into your attacking phase, trying to get it up to, in our case, Leao to our wingers, or in Napoli's case, most of the time, they're trying to target Lukaku, facing one of the center backs, right? Being today's going to be either Chow or Pavlovic. I'm not sure now why Tomori's not playing. He's more experienced. Looks like we're going with two very inexperienced center backs, especially in Serie A. I know Chow's played a little bit, but he's still inexperienced. He's had some really rough games in the past. In the last game, he had a decent game, but let's be honest, he's been shaky for us. And, depending on, who Lukaku's going to try to go up against, either Chow or Pavlovic, he's going to either try to draw a flat foul because they're prone to making errors, unfortunately. So let's hope they try to, become a little bit more, make some smarter decisions. And if they're going to take a tactical foul, take it in the middle of the field, not near the 18-yard box, right? And obviously, once Lukaku gets that ball, he tries to, hold it up and gets it out to his wing, either Kvaratskhelia, who's going to be guarded by Royale, or out to the other side, Politano, who's going to be, going up against Tereshano on the other side of the field. So those are some stats, which is interesting. Now, in terms of tactics, let's get into Napoli's tactics, boys. Napoli, so they start off in a 4-2-2-2, right? Usually, with they play very tight. They're in the middle, and then when they're defending, right, that obviously changes. Just like us, we play a 4-2-4 when we defend, right? Either we're going to high press, which we've done in the past, or kind of a, not too aggressive pressing, depending who's on the field. We either mark man-to-man or hybrid, which we've seen a couple of times. But it looks like today, according to some news, we're going to go with man-to-man, especially in the midfield, which doesn't quite make sense to me, being that we're obviously have a disadvantage. They have three midfielders, which are very physical: McTominay, Gilmore. Gilmore's all right. And then Giza's obviously very physical midfielder against R2. Unless Pulisic is looking to drop back to even at that middle of the field. But if we're going to be man marking Fofana, it's going to be man marking either McTominay, most likely, or Gilmore, and Loftus-Cheeks, most likely with Giza. And as much as Loftus-Cheeks has the physical tools, he doesn't use his physicality at all. Fofana has, but he's been off the last couple of games. So I'm looking for Fofana to regain his form today. Being he has some poor games, some sub-average games, and Loftus-Cheeks doesn't belong in that pivotal, double pivot role at all as well. Being that if he's going to be American Nargiz, that's going to be an issue on that 4-2-4. And the other thing is, when you're playing that double pivot, you got to help out your fullbacks that are pinned in. So Fofana's got to help out Royale when he's against Kvaratskhelia, right? Because Chucky's going to be picking up any other plays that are running in the box, either McTominay or Oliveira. And then on the other side, Loftus-Cheeks, you have Politano coming down that wing, and maybe De Lorenzo as well. So Loftus-Cheeks got to help out Tereshano when he's pinned in, and he's got to recover on that third man runs as well, right? Covering anybody coming in through the box for those cutback passes. I'm sorry, I said Pavlovic before. It's going to be Tomori and Chow. Okay. Apologies. So the double pivot, Loftus-Cheek, I don't like him in there. I'd rather have, dude, I don't even know who would be the best option. Um, you know, Tijani's out, obviously, but we don't have a really good even playmaker. We lose Tijani's playmaking ability to push the ball up the field, and find some open players, right, with those splitting passes through balls. Cheeks is not that guy. So Pulisic's probably going to do some defensive work as well, help out Loftus-Cheeks, help that midfield a little bit. It'll be interesting to see who's going to be marking up with Lukaku. Are they going to go with kind of a zone marking between the two center backs, or are they going to go with Chow, being he's more physical, but he's prone to making errors? So Lukaku's going to try to take advantage of that situation, right? Try to draw some fouls on Chow, maybe try to draw a yellow card, get him in trouble early on, or Tamari. But they both, these center backs, need to be laser focused from the beginning of the game till the end, right? They have to stay compact, need to help each other out, need to win their challenges, is eventually obvious too, and our midfielders too. But like I said, stat-wise, Napoli has that edge on winning tackles and recovering the ball, clearly. But back to Napoli really quick. So they play a 5-4-1. So they play in a low block last couple of games. That's why they've been giving up such, they've kept the last 5 clean sheets in Serie A, which is, regardless, is pretty impressive. Our defense has gotten a little bit better, but it still has some holes. So we need to clean it up today. And obviously the big question is, can our team, we've had issue with the low block in the past. And Napoli has a really good low block. Can we find ways through it? Can we find solutions? Can players like Pulisic, Chuck, Leao, Morata, Fofana, or Loftus-Cheeks find ways to build to break that low block, that 5-4-1, right? Because they do stay compact. They do have experienced players. You have Anguissa, you have Buongiorno, leading that back line. He's one of the better center backs in the league. And it's going to be a battle in between, to see if we can beat them on that end. See if Leao can beat up De Lorenzo and Chucky as well, and Pulisic. So that's the stat-wise, in terms of stats. Now let's get into some key matchups really quick, guys. First key matchup is obviously Leao, De Lorenzo. De Lorenzo's had some up and down games for the national team. Let's see how Leao what can he do against De Lorenzo. Obviously, they'll be able to beat him in terms of pace, one-on-one abilities. Lorenzo doesn't have that lateral quickness to keep up with speedy wingers. We've seen that with Nicko Williams, right? He had a really hard time in the Euros. But he's probably going to get help out from Anguissa, because in that 3 midfield, it's like the same thing, the double pivot. You got to help out your pinned-in fullbacks. So Anguissa is probably going to double up Leao a couple times. They might even, overload that side. Napoli, just like we saw Roma did against us in last year's Euros competition, and make it harder for Leao to do anything. So that'll be interesting to see. And the other key matchup would be Morata. Is he going to be marked against Buongiorno or Rahami? If he's got Buongiorno on him, it'll be interesting to see how Morata deals with Buongiorno. And the other big key matchup here would be Lukaku. Who's going to be marking up him? Is it going to be Chow or Tomori? Are they going to be sharing that responsibility? All right. And on the flip side, Kvaratskhelia against Royale. We know what Kvaratskhelia can do. is Fofana going to be able to have a good game today and help Royale out to kind of double team up Kvaratskhelia, slow him down, or is Kvaratskhelia going to eat up Royale? So that's a big matchup to look at for today's game as well. And finally, the midfield, right? It looks like we're going to man-to-man in the midfield against their midfield. And it'll be interesting to see how Fofana and Loftus-Cheek deals with that as well. So those are your key matchups as well, guys. Let's get with the chat. What's up, boy? What's up, Fadinho? It would be if I would place a bet, it's either Napoli winning or a draw, but it's going to be a close match. If Napoli scores first, then it will be harder. Listen, we have a couple of good things going for us. I don't know if we're losing two major players today, which hurts. Napoli's on a good streak defensively, anyways. They're led by a more experienced coach. You got to give them the edge there. As a Milan fan, obviously, I want our team to win today. We need the points, being that Napoli has 22, we're at 14. So if we win today, we close that gap. We're at 17. If we lose, they go up to 25, and we stay at 14. Now that gap is at 11. That's an 11-point gap in November, practically. So that's going to put us really in a deep spot in terms of the race. Listen, I know some fans think we can actually compete for the Scudetto with this current team and the depth that we have. But listen, most Serie A teams don't have depth, so it is what it is. But even with our coach hasn't had great success in Italy before. He struggled. It's just the way it is. And, our form-wise, looking offensively, we're against goal. Pulisic's been on the streak. But the key of today's any game, especially against a team like Napoli, that have really good offensive players. Yeah, I know somebody said Lukaku's struggling. Lukaku's not struggling. He's had assists. He's actually doing, playing well under Conte. The key is if our defense, can our midfielders hold the line, help out our fullbacks pinned in? Can we have Leao and Chuck backtracking for the third man runs that Loftus-Cheek and Fofana may not get to because they're marking other players or they're in the back line? And also Pulisic as well. Pulisic works hard off the ball. All right. Okay, what kind of game are we going to get out of Terrashano? He's still very inexperienced. What kind of game are we going to get out of Royale? I haven't been impressed by him. Fofana, I was impressed with him a couple of games. And last couple of games, he had off games. So I don't know who the true Fofana is. But if we get the Fofana we got in those games that he played well, we should be able to stay in this game. But he's going to need help from his partner in the double pivot. Cheeks needs to step up today. He needs to show his worth. Hold on, guys. There we go. Got so much light here. Fix these curtains. All right, a little bit better. Too much light coming in here right now. So, yeah, those are the big ones right there. Look at Fadinho. Listen, I don't think we even had a chance at the beginning of the season, to be honest. I mean, I know we're winning games regardless of management. We haven't had a terrible season, but and I'm not going to get into the whole Redbird stuff today. This is a pregame show. I'll dive into that, other times, so many times. My feelings on management and, long term, this is not a good project, right? With them owning the team. But in terms of just our players and our coaches, stick with that, right? Forget Redbird, forget what they've done to the club, to the history of the club, disrespect, all that noise. But in terms of just being on the field, we have a decent team. Is it balanced? No, it's not really balanced. We could definitely use a better midfielders. Could we use maybe 3 midfielders, 4 midfielders to cover up some of their deficiencies defensively? Yeah. Could we use a left back for a vice left back for Theo? Yes, because Tereshano's not the answer long term. It's not sustainable. Yes. Could we use a new right back in the wintertime? Hell yes. Royale's not sustainable playing in that. He's going to, I'll be surprised if he has a decent game against Kvaratskhelia. Kvaratskhelia is on his game, which he is. He's a dog. He's got a different mentality. It's going to be a long day for Royale. If Kvaratskhelia is locked in and ready to go, it's going to be a long day for that side of the field, especially even for Politano with Tereshano. But it's also up to our midfield to see how they can help out those fullbacks. In terms of scoreline, I predicted a 2-1 loss. I think we could definitely score a goal. I don't think we could beat them on that low block, that 5-4-1 low block. I think we're going to, if our best chance is recovering the ball either on a press, high press, or a counter press, getting the ball back at a good position, good spot on the field, and getting them on the counter. Using our speedy wingers to see what kind of game Chuck's going to have today. If he's going to continue the trend of playing well, or is it just one of those things that he plays well against lower competition, and against really good competition, he fades out. So if Chuck can play decent today, we might be able to catch Napoli out on the counter. All right, because they don't have the speediest fullbacks. All right, they do have good midfielders, obviously. Minus Gilmore, I don't know much about the kid. If the Lobaka was there, like I said, it'd be a different game. But obviously with Bonjour in the back line too, so we'll see. I think we'll be able to put one behind them. Be 1-1. I'm guessing late in the game, and somehow Conte's going to make the right tactical decisions late in the game, get the right subs in, change the formation around with the way they play, and put a second goal behind us. That's just my feelings. Obviously, like I said, I want our team to win, but I'm just being real. This is what this podcast is all about. Myself and Milanista 360, we're real. We're not living in some fantasy world, Disney world, where we say, yeah, our team's going to smack every team 4-0, like some other fans. It's just not possible. This is not Football Manager. This is not FIFA. You're not simming the game out. This is real life. All right. So, yeah, I don't think we're going to be out of the Scudetto run. Top 4 is a good possibility, but that's not good enough for me. Under this team, sure, it's what it is, but we can do better than that. But that's a show for another day. So we did a preview, stats, tactics, key matchups, and boom, next one, Rossoneri Rumble. So this is part of the show where I'm going to put I got a couple more minutes left. I got 20 minutes left, guys, maybe less. So if we're going to do this, we're going to do this quick. But this is part of the show. If I had more time today, and I apologize. Let's get the link first. Where is it? Okay. All right. I'm going to put the link in the chat here. So that's a link to the chat, to the pod. If anybody wants to chime in real quick, hop on for 5 minutes, a couple minutes. Tell me your thoughts on today's game. Want to tell me that I'm wrong with my prediction, that I suck. I don't know what the hell I'm talking about. This is the part of the show where people get to jump on the show for a few minutes and tell me your thoughts on anything. That's what it's called, Rossoneri Rumble. So let's go. Ding, ding, ding. If anyone jumps in, I'm going to give you a couple minutes if anyone jump on. If you see the link in the chat, hop on for a few minutes. You don't have to turn your camera on. You can download from your phone, whatever, laptop, wherever you're calling from, watching this. Other than that, like I said, it would be an interesting matchup today, especially with Napoli's defense the way it's been playing lately. See how we can handle that, how we can break up their low block. Let's look at some of the games today while we're at it. See if anybody jumps in. Today, Calgary, Bologna's playing today. Is that right? The hell? No, this can't be. Today's 29th. They got games today besides us. Calgary, Bologna's playing today. Lecce, Hellas, Verona, Empoli, Inter's tomorrow. Venezia, Udinese tomorrow. At Atlanta, Monza's tomorrow. Juve, Parma is playing tomorrow as well. Huh. And looking at, so quick thing about some injured players of ours. Gabby's looked like he's out till mid-November. It's not good. Florenzi, he's out till late February. Yeah, that was a pretty catastrophic injury. Jovic's physical discomfort doubtful. Man, he's a wasteful fucking signing. Tammy's out with a shoulder injury till mid-November, and Benny ankle injury. He's out till early December of 24. But even if he makes a recovery, Benacer, I don't see him returning to full form ever again. I think he's had too many injuries, man. He's been banged up so many times with some like really nasty injuries to his lower extremity. It's just not his shoulder or his hand, the break, it's always something with his legs, ankles, knees, muscles. He's like a combat fucking veteran, this guy. How many injuries he's had is fucking bad. And I think if he comes back, we got to look to offload him. As much as I hate to see him go, if we can offload him and I don't think he'll be ready to be offloaded in January. If he's ready to be offloaded, hopefully we can get rid of him and hopefully use that money wisely and get a good play in return to add some depth in the midfield or that right back spot or left back spot. But our midfield and our right back spots, the two most important spots, because we need that depth in the midfield, especially defensively, and we need a new right back. We have Theo. We can find maybe a vice left back in the summertime. But if you guys see the chat, the link, let me know. If you guys want to hop on, like I said, I got to get going in a minute. You guys see the chat? I don't think you see it. Fuck. Hold on. There we go. So I'm going to put it here as well. So that's all right, guys. So that's the link. I try to put it directly into the link into YouTube. I don't know if you guys seen it or not. If you guys want to jump on for a minute, I'm going to be signing off. It's 8:40. So I got about 10 minutes left. I got to hop off. If you guys want to jump on, Fadinho, Carmelo, if you guys want to jump on for a minute and talk about today's game, your feelings, is your time to do so. For the Rossoneri Rumble. Let's see, Fadinho. See, we should get Lorenzo Luca. Yeah, I think it's not going to happen. Did I hear right that he might want to go to Juve? Is that correct? I don't remember. I don't see us I don't see this management going for an Italian player. We got Ricci's. I guess there's been talk about Ricci in the wintertime. He's out of our fucking price range now, being that he's in the national team. No, I don't see him coming either. And adding that really needed depth in the midfield. I don't see him getting Luca. I like the kid Luca as well, but man, he's too Italian sounding. If his name was, I don't know, Lorenzo Smith, if he was playing for Chelsea or for some other fucking club in the EPL, I think that it would probably sign him. Yeah, I mean, that's true. But our depth still sucks, man. It's still early too. Usually this time of year we get some injuries as well, right? I'm hoping not. We don't get any injuries, but let's hopefully we get Gabia back mid-November. He stays healthy for the remaining of the season. I don't see why not. Tammy's coming back, but we still need depth, like most Serie A teams. I mean, fuck. Even Inter, man. Like as much as we think they have depth, if you hear their podcasts, they're not happy with their club either. Uncle Sharma, he was on the other day, post game show after that 4-4 game with Juve, which was just a goal fest, and Inter, there's some holes in Inter's game. They don't look as especially offensively. We know it looks on paper they have depth, but those guys are not performing either. And even if Hakan's out, you think with the depth they would be able to be okay in the midfield without Hakan. And you see how much they're missing him. Zelensky's not having a great season so far. He's been all right. Not what they expected, I guess, when they signed him. So, yeah, listen, I mean, Inzaghi's probably going to make some tactical changes. He always does. He's very adaptable. That's why he's one of the best coaches in Europe. So he's obviously going to make changes. All right. So nobody wants to hop on. That's cool. That's fine. We'll do it next time, guys. But next time, I don't know if I'm going to do a post game today. I have work. I might not do a post game. We'll see. But if I do a post game, if Adinho, Carmelo, if you hop on for the post game, you guys want to jump on then to discuss the game, please do. It'll be good to chat up with you guys, to chop it up a little bit. Oh, so last segment real quick, guys. Our next 5 games. So a quick preview of our next 5 games. So let me pull up the graph here. Where is it? Oh, here it is. Like I said, I need somebody to run this board, man. All right. Let me get the caption out of the way. Here we go. So our next 5 games. So we got Real Madrid away. We got Bratislava away. Crvena Zvezda home. Girona home. And Dynamo away. GNK Dynamo. I'm probably butchering that name. So the Madrid game, real quick, we're playing them at Bernabeu. They've been struggling, but they're still a talented team, right? I mean, they got handled by Barcelona, and they were offsides like 20 times with that high line that they play. But we can't play that kind of high line. We don't have the players for that, unfortunately. So this is going to be most likely. I don't see us winning this game. The Wake Bratislava, that's winnable. The next game is winnable. Girona, that's a tough game. And so I mean, ideally we can win. We can get out of these 5 games. We can we can come away with 9 points. I think if we're on all focused, locked in every single player. If our team's clicking, I don't think we're going to fix our defensive issues or what they are, obviously, with that. Our midfielder's not coming back. Our pivotal space is off. Our press is not always on. Our counter press is not always on either. So, but offensively, we're clicking. We can definitely win. I think ideally we can win 3 out of these games, out of these 5 games. Is that going to happen? I don't know, but I think it can happen. Meaning we'll be able to qualify for that. I think 9 to 24 spot. I don't think we're going to qualify for top 8, unfortunately. Look, and that's what Redbird for Redbird. That's perfectly okay. Getting into that between 9 and 24th spot, and just getting by, and to see what we can do in the next round if we do qualify for that in Champions League. All right, but I think we can get 9 points. So we'll see. Later, Fadinho. Good chatting you. Good seeing you, Fadinho. Thanks again for always supporting the channel and staying locked in. All right, fellas, that's all I got for today. I know it's a short one. Usually I stay in for about an hour 15. But being that I have work in about 10 minutes, literally, I got to hop online here and catch my meetings for today. We're going to call it a day. Hold on. There we go. All right. Like I said, I need somebody to run this board badly. But yeah, thanks again, everybody, for locking in. Apologies for running a little bit late, about an hour late, but things happen, right? Especially if nobody's paying me to do this. So let's see what happens today's game. Let's see if we can come out with those 3 points. But like I said, I think it's gonna be a 2-1 loss. That's just my thoughts. But I'm hoping that my team Milan can prove me wrong and come out with a win today. It's not gonna be in clean sheet if they do win. I don't see that happening against Napoli with those players that they have. All right. Other than that, and obviously their coach too. Enjoy today's game. All right, Milan Nation. Thanks again. All right, Forza Milan, as always. And if anybody's going to be catching this show afterwards, after the live, please leave your comments in the channel. The comment section. Subscribe, like, hit the notification bell as well. All right, and thanks for your support. All right, Forza Milan, as always, and take it easy, Milan Nation.
Trophies legends on the field, each and every one. But now the future's calling, we won't stand still. For Rossoneri dreams of fire we must fulfill. We wanna see the rise once more, return to the place where giants roar. The echoes of